Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Austin and Shane of The Lone Few.
Hello.
Today, we're back on some more secret spots and out-of-map jumps in Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah, there's about 10 of them, all of them really good. If you want to skip to a specific one on a specific map, then click the timecode below in the description.
So let's get into it. So this first one we got for you is on Flak Tower, and so if you come over here to this side of the map, it's kind of near the spawn. What you want to do is jump up onto the ledge on the outside of the map, and you're going to want to strafe jump your way onto this specific post. You're actually kind of aiming for the pegs there, and then from there you want to jump down onto the outside of this window. And you can kind of hang out here. Sometimes you might end up with this shutter kind of falling, in front of you, so you can't see inside the map. But eventually it should move, or maybe you can finagle it some way so you can see inside and, get the upper hand on all of your enemies on the inside.
Next up is the map Sainte Marie Du Mont. This is on the Allies' side, the Ally spawn point. You just come right over here to this little alleyway. You have to jump on this specific side of this yellow car. Even if it gets blown up, it still works just fine. Jump on here, you jump onto the sandbags next, and you have to do sort of a jump where you make a U shape, just so you don't hit an invisible wall. And then when you go along, you hit another invisible wall, which you move slightly to the left, but make sure not to fall off. And then from there, it's just easy walking. Jump forward, and you're completely out of the map. And from there, you can pretty much walk all around the map. There's so many places to explore and so many places you can actually stick your head into and kill people that are walking by.
But just make sure to shoot the ground to know when you aren't on solid surface.
Yeah, I was actually pretty amazed by this map, how much you can go outside of the bounds, how far away you can go.
I think it might be from the campaign, and so they just have buildings just scattered everywhere still.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that you can actually go through some of the buildings, some of the tanks as well. But yeah, just make sure you shoot the ground to make sure you know what's solid and what's not.
And we got a second one on Sainte Marie here for you. So this is on the right side of spawn. So what you want to do is hop up onto this little crate. Make sure that you hit the right side, or the outside, I guess, of the crate. Otherwise, it won't let you press X to mantle. And then just strafe jump over onto the ledge, the rightmost corner of that little doorway. And then just hug the wall and make your way across to this little ledge. Hop up onto the ledge, should be very, very simple, and then bam, you can just get up on top of this rooftop. And from this rooftop, you can hop onto pretty much every other rooftop for the most part. You'll see in a second, you don't have to worry about falling into, the fire there. It's completely solid.
Although I have to say, this rooftop right here is very slippery, so if you try to go upwards, you might slip off.
Well, you have to go all the way to the end, right? And then, at the corner, you have to kind of crawl the corner up.
Yeah, just make sure you're not to move left or right at all once you get to this corner.
And from here, there's a couple of places where you can go, mainly like on top of different cars and other kind of smaller places. But he's technically, I guess, on top of that little shed, but he's, 25, 50 feet above. Same thing with this car.
Next up is on Aachen. I believe that's the right pronunciation. But this one you need either a couple care packages or the supply drop, which drops 3 care packages down. You just jump on the care packages that are standing vertical and crouch jump to this specific invisible platform, I guess it's called. From there you back up very slowly until you can stand up and jump onto this little ledge in front of you.
So you're standing and jumping in that sequence there.
Yeah, I stand up and jump in the same motion. Although you want to be careful up here because there's an invisible death ball, essentially. So just make sure you stick to the wall right here and just jump onto this broken part of the wall. And you want to move forward up to this specific spot on the wall. And you can actually go further up the wall, but I chose not to because there's more interesting stuff on the other side of the wall, like going outside the map. It's really just a simple jump. Just make sure you stay on the stone part of the wall, though. I'm not sure if you can actually slip off and fall otherwise, but just to be sure, just stay on the stone part of the wall. You could jump over that small wall right there and pretty much be in a different enclosed space, so unfortunately you can't run around the outside of the map. So instead I just slip off and fall right here, which pretty much shows what it would be like, but in a smaller scale.
Next up is Gibraltar, and this is a really, really quick, very, very simple one. You can get outside the map, although you can't do too much with it. So you're essentially just going to come over to this big main bridge, hop up on top of these barrels, and it's really not that hard of a jump. You just have to land specifically right here on this very specific region of rock. And you can just kind of survive out here outside of the map. If you move at all, you will die, and you don't really have too many lines of sight, but it is a cool place just to go over and hide, and, you know, just stay alive, I guess.
Up next is Gustav Cannon, one of the biggest maps in the game, which I really like, and it's a snow map, which kind of relates to me. But regardless, we used a care package for this one. You do not need it. It's just a lot easier with a care package. You just jump to these specific logs on the specific steel beam, and from there you could go through the rocks onto this crane, and from the crane onto this roof. Now this is where it can open up a couple possibilities, but I chose this time to go outside the map completely. Unfortunately though, you can't go out too far or else you'll fall down.
But if you don't go outside the map, you can also, from this rooftop, instead go off to the right and jump onto this other rooftop. It should be just a simple strafe jump once you get up on top. It's, again, one of those other jumps where you aren't really on the rooftop. You're kind of on an invisible wall. And you can go from that rooftop over to the windmill as well. There's this weird, like, second level of the windmill that you'll see in a second as well that you can drop down. I don't believe you can get back up to the other level once you've fallen down to this point. But you can also hang out down here. Really, no one is going to realize that you're here. Got some good lines of sight.
So the third spot involving this specific area right here, you turn left instead of right. So instead of jumping onto the crane on the right side, you jump to this crane on the left side. But be careful not to get stuck in the bucket like I did right here. Instead, you can actually interact with the crane by going up its arms and sniping from here. But that's not the point of this side. Instead, you can actually go down onto that tank right there. Just jump from this little wooden part of it, and you can actually jump onto there as well. Jump onto this invisible wall right here, which actually is pretty large for an invisible wall for that kind of roof right there. And just turn around and jump onto this little part of the house right here. And boom! You're in one of the best sniping spots in the entire map. Not only do you have cover behind you when you go backwards, but you have cover on your left side as well.
Next up, we got London Docks, and so this one is kind of in the middle of the map. Pretty simple to do, but a little bit difficult of a jump. So what you want to do is start over here. I believe this is over by B-Dom, and you want to just sprint jump your way across and onto the top of that little archway. And from there, you just want to hug the wall all the way around. Essentially, you can go pretty much all the way around this side of the brick building. But what is really important is that you can actually also hop down onto these crates. And from the crates, or at least on top of the invisible wall, on top of the crates, you can also jump over on top of the train. There's not too much to do on the train. You can just kind of, you know, there's an invisible wall almost immediately there, so you're just kind of on the edge. But it is there. It is a cool spot. Go check it out.
And then the final one we have here is on Pointe de Hoc. This is right beside this broken plane here, which is between, I believe, C and B in domination. You need a care package to land specifically right here. It's actually a lot harder than it looks. And from there you just jump up here and you're good to go. Just make sure you don't fall through the mesh because you cannot walk through mesh, and anything near the plane kills you instantly as well. So yeah, we gotta watch out for that.
And guys, that will do it for this episode of Secret Spots. We had a lot of really good ones, which is great coming off of the last couple Call of Duties where there was almost nothing worth making videos of. So if you have any spots that we missed in this video, please leave them in the comments down below, and we'll look through them, and maybe we'll make another video if there's enough good ones.
And don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. And also, in the description, we have a Discord server. Be sure to join that so you can talk to us, ask us any questions, and even submit any secret spots there. See you next time.